Hello everybody and welcome back to Live and Let's Dice live here on a Wednesday afternoon. Alright, geezers unite. That's as much energy as you're probably going to get out of me today. Just because of the fact that it is sweltering hot. My balls! Swampy they be. You don't need to know that, but I'll tell you that anyway. That's what streams are for. The unending stream of consciousness between people, good and bad, or in the case of Dr. Disrespect, horrible. So, but we won't be talking about that because I want to actually stay positive, because that is a dark, nasty hole that I don't want to go down. Right. Hello, everyone. Welcome here to the slightly too warm to be comfortable shack, the paint hole, as it's known. Over in the corner, you can see the lights LED, therefore signifying that I am indeed a true hashtag gamer guy. Also, hashtag not good at putting them up fully, as is demonstrated by this. It's because they used to run along here, and I take them down to paint old Teely boy behind us here. In the darkness at the back there, you can see my workstation. That's where all the magic happens, my friends, because I do my sleight of hand tricks over there. Also where I write endlessly unedited filth fetid swamp that is my my articles for both What Culture, Future Game Show. It's my throne, my golden throne as it were. But what we're focusing on is here in this corner right here, where the magic also happens, because we're going to be painting today. We're going to be painting up some more Blood Bowl trolls. I know you can't see them, but I'll switch over to the other camera in a minute, and you'll be able to see them slightly better. I've been working on Blue Boy in my spare time, and we're working on the Pink Boy over here, who is going to be the one we focus on during the stream. But biggest question is, how is everyone? I realised that it seemed like a bit impromptu, didn't it? Me just being like, oh, cool, right, the stream's happening like this. And that's because of the fact that I wasn't entirely sure if it was going to go ahead, because the weather's been so good that I was like, do I want to get outside? And then I went outside for a run on lunch and then realised, ooh, that is muy caliente. I'm a bit warm. I'm a bit sweaty. So I'm going to basically wait for it to cool down, and then Kerry and I are going to go for a nice evening stroll instead. That makes more sense to me than going out right now where there's no sun, but it is warm as an oven. But yes, hello to all of the lovely people that have joined us here today. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can see me. I do not know anything about tech, as has been proved a million times before. So let's talk about the good stuff. Since we last spoke... Oh, hello, Robin M. Good to see you. Oh, let's say hello to all the lovely people that joined us. That's probably what I should have done. That's a professional streamer right here. Quoth is in the house. What up? Stephen Crane, absolute legend of the game. Here for a while. I happily keep getting notified of live duels. I mean, this is the thing, mate. It's the day where I die and people don't get notified. Or maybe they will get notified that I've died. Nah, that's too egotistical. I don't think that they'll get notified. You get notified if, like, somebody with over, like, 1 million subscribers dies. Like, if I Show Speed died, or KSI died, or anyone else. Why can't I think of anyone else? Maximilian Dude, if he died, people would notify you. If I died, it's just going to be... I reckon... Actually, I know one person who would notify me. Now, this is the thing. There is a little known thing in our group chat, the Live and Let's Dice one, where Mikey is basically the Grim Reaper. He is always the first to tell you which celebrities have died. And I don't know how he does it. It's bordering on, like... What's it called? Prescience? Because he'll just be in there and be like, oh... lad who played cop number 3 in Police Academy 2. He's dead. They're like, amazing. He's just got this ability. So I basically I don't need to follow the news anymore. I get my politics from Beanie. I get my all of my painting tips, life tips, and general wise words from Lawson. And I go with Mikey for the deaths, for the obituaries. Yeah, it's good. It's good times. I'm sorry, what? It's 42 degrees over there. Ooh. So yeah, quickly going back to that, Mikey will be the person who notifies other people of my passing, but maybe just within that group chat. So yeah, that's what I've got to look forward to. Nice and depressing start. Oh no, one of my paints was slightly open in this heat wave. It has dried up something fierce. Down. Was it you, Lawson, that was telling me that there was a reason why they made the bottles like this? And this is not like me having a slander against GW. This is just me reporting information that I was told, with my opinion. Was I informed that this was done like this because of the fact that it would be easier for them to dry up, and so therefore you got to buy more paints? Or is that just the insidious anti-GW propaganda that's been going around? I do take paint and life advice for you, my friend. You've always got wise words. But let's say hello to all of the lovely people that are joining us here in the live chat. Got to Stephen Crane. Hunter's in the house. How's it going, my friend? Or as you say in the cowboy hat crafting business, yeehaw. How's it going, my friend? Hassan's in the chat, as we've said before. And he's in Arizona, where it is 42 degrees. 42 degrees! That's beyond uncomfortable. I think that it is right now in the UK. I'll double check because I want to... It's the weather report. Kerry and I have started a new fake radio show because of animals and insects we encountered when we were down camping in Devon. We were driving back home in the evening, and a tawny owl flew alongside the car, swept over the top of it, and then into a tree line there. And if you don't know anything about owls, they're bloody hard to spot half the time, and even if you do get to glimpse them in the wild, it's very fleeting. So to have it like fly alongside the car and then up was pretty special, actually. So she's called Tawny Owl, and I'm called the Tick. We won't go into that one. But the thing is that that's our new radio show. Tawny Owl and the Tick, coming at you live in the morning with the weather. Weather report from the Tick. It is officially on Wednesday, the 26th of June, 2024, 26 degrees here in sunny Wales. And you're saying it's 42 degrees? 42 degrees is disgustingly hot, mate. I can't be doing with that. Isle of Wight is 29 degrees. Ooh, Robert. Mate, I feel you. That's no bueno, man. Like, this is tapping out. 26 degrees is probably the height of my moderate comfort zone, you know? Like, I could go for a walk, I could do very light activity outside, but I would be uncomfortable if I had to stay outside for a long time. Walking anywhere in, say, 42-degree heat, which I've never experienced, by the way, but I can only imagine is nearly double the discomfort that I am in right now, would turn me into a blubbering wreck, mate. There was once, I don't know if I told you guys this, we went to, this is back when Ash and I were working at What Culture, and do you remember the game The Sinking City? We got flown out there for one day to go to Paris to go speak with the developers and play The Sinking City before it came out, and we were treated to like a meal and got to do this cosplay stuff. It was absolutely brilliant fun. And speaking of which, I actually really enjoyed the game. It's one of those brass bullets of gaming that I've been getting off on the ground at the moment. I feel like it's just like a 6 or 7 out of 10 game that is just fun. Just fun game. It's got its problems, but it's just fun. Point being, when we flew out to Paris, I believe that it was 35 degrees. It's probably the hottest temperature I've ever been in. And I remember, because I'm an absolute idiot and apparently a sadist, Ash was there like, well, we've got a few hours to kill after the event's over, before we need to make our way back to the airport. What do you want to do? I said, well, we're quite close to this like national landmark where you get this amazing view over the city. She was like, okay, cool, let's go for it then. Let's go for it. Go and check it out, because on the maps it said it was only 20 minutes away. What it didn't say, or maybe what I didn't tell Ash, was that it was 20 minutes pretty much straight uphill from the moment you started. And it wasn't one of those gentle inclines. It was like a classic Parisian super steep hill, like rivaling San Francisco. And I was about 15 minutes into it, and I think I was wearing a black t-shirt because I'm a real idiot. And I remember feeling this sort of like, almost like somebody had just like burst a water balloon over my back. And I was like, what is that? I turned around, like touched there where my backpack was, and I was just sweating so profusely that it had just become like sodden. And I was like, oh, this is bad. I look back at Ash. She's melting. Looks like one of those Madden Tussauds waxworks, just like, or Alice Cooper, post-gig, like all their makeup was running there. And I'd realised at this point, there was two options. We either go straight back down the hill and admit defeat, and she's fuming with me because of the fact that we spent that time boosting it up the hill, or I basically turn around and just go, look, right, we're going there and we're going to do it, and we just have to embrace the sweatiness. And we got up there, and absolutely dripping, because I've got no hair, obviously. Like, any sweat that forms here was just running down my face. We both looked like absolute states. And she was like on the borderline of being like, why did you fucking drag me out here? Why did you do this? And then eventually we're just like, calm down, cool down, and took a really nice photo. So to the layman, it just looked like we had a great time. But behind the scenes, terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. And that was in 35-degree heat, and I felt like I wanted to die. 42 wouldn't even get me out of the house, mate. Wouldn't even get me out of the house. Bad. Bad, bad, bad. Yes, I've been drinking so much at the moment. I think it's just because of the fact that normally 26 to 28 degrees in the UK, it's warm. But I think that we can get on with it. It's just that it always jumps so quickly. Like, even a couple of days before here in Wales, it was like 14 degrees. So you add another like 10 degrees on top of that straight away overnight, and your body just can't change to it that quickly. You're just like, bloody hell, what's going on? I'm dying. So yeah. Anyway, let's carry on saying hello to all the other lovely people here, especially Lawson. I just want to shout him out. I just want to say hi to him. How's it going, buddy? I've been going through a real sort of like hyper dose of positivity at the moment with my friendship groups. I'm just so proud of them, so happy for their successes, and it's just lovely. Just lovely. Who else is in the chat here then? Oh, Crazy Doug, obviously. Obviously. You'd fall asleep in any room, mate. You've got kids, you know. You've developed this like innate mutation. The X-Men mutant gene has sprung up in you to fall asleep wherever, whenever. Stephen Crane is in the channel, so yeah, I've said that already. Jenko, outside as hell right now. I do feel for you, mate, with your job especially. X is in the chat. How's it going, my friend? Good to see you. Hope that you're doing well. Rich B. Oh, a stream to get me through the last bit of work. Don't mind if I do. Welcome. Enjoy, my friend. We're going to have a nice chill time. We're going to paint some trolls and it'll be great. Seemingly usually late to celebrity death use. The last rare exception was Jason, David, Frank, Green and White Power. Oh, yeah. Nerdy's listening in from work. Hello, my friend. We already said hi to Hassan. Malachi's in here as well. Hello. How's it going, my friend? I played cricket. Sorry, what? In 36-degree heat. Don't remember much as I ended up with heat and sunstroke. That is foul, man. Brother. No. Hey, Octavia. How's it going, my friend? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Christopher Steves. I just love saying his name, mate. It's just great. TJ's in the chat. Chewy's here. Hate the heat as well. Of course you do, mate. Because this is the thing. When you think about it, there's more surface area of you because you are so tall that you absorb more heat. I, on the other hand, love being near you when it's hot because of the fact that you will absorb the heat because this is clearly how it works. And I just get to basically go in your long shadow then. It's perfect. Oh, speaking of shadows, speaking of horrors, speaking of heat, speaking of dying of dehydration because of salt, that was the tie in there. Let's talk about something that Steamforged Games sent over to me that I received the other day. This isn't an ad, by the way. It's just something that I thought was very, very cool. So, if you know anything about Steamforged Games, they make tons of brilliant sort of video game tie-in things, and they've just bought, is it War Machine, Lawson, the brand? So they are doing pretty well. They have board games out there for Resident Evil 2, 3, 1, and I assume that 4 is in the works. They've done Monster Hunter, they've done Horizon Zero Dawn, they've done Sea of Thieves, they've done tons of these board game properties. But they also did Dark Souls, the minigame that most people might know them for because it was their first like real impactful video game one. And then they followed up a few years later with Dark Souls, the role-playing game, which was basically their version of D&D, but in the Dark Souls universe, and it's pretty bloody good fun. But then they were like, oh, do you need a new dice set? And I was like, well, I ain't going to say no. So they sent over this, the Unkindled dice set. I did like a little unboxing sort of preview thing on my Instagram, but I'll show you here because they're really bloody cool. And in fact, now I can switch over to the other camera and then we can start painting and doing some fun stuff. So, in theory, let's just see if this works. If I do that, is it going to freeze? No, here we are. So you can see here the lovely "You Died" logo on the box. Beautiful stuff. And then I pop this lid. Oh my god, Jules. There we go. Ooh. Ooh. These Unkindled dice are very cool, my friend. Very, very cool. Alright, if I hold them up here, it should focus up to it. This beautiful, like, amber with gold flecks in there. Very nice, right? And they've got like they're a hard edge D20. Because sometimes you get sort of like rounded edge on this, but I really like this because it feels like it's just been like cut aggressively. But what's really cool about this is that if you look at the bottom, the dark sign over here and all the surrounding area around it is like polluted with black. Now, it could either be read that this is a bonfire, which I do like the description of, that it's like the embers at the bottom and it's the flames coming out from the top. But what's really cool is that because it's a 1 and the 20's on the other side over here, that means that this unluckiness right there, it's like your luck has completely run out. All light has faded from this area and all that's left is the hollowing of the dark side. It's very cool. Very, very nice. And then there's the full set here, which is obviously a D4, D6, D8, 2 D10s, because the game uses quite a lot of D10s, a D12, and 2 D20s as well. So I'm thinking that whenever we get our RPG back on, I will definitely be using that. And because of the fact that I know that I'm going to a Blood Bowl tournament, which we're painting up the trolls for today, they usually do like a D&D session in the evening, so I'm going to bring them. Hi. I didn't click cut back to me. Somebody else in control of the stream, are they? Try that again. That was weird. It was just like, all right, guys, good to see you. Right, all I need to do now is I need to boost the brightness of this video thing here because I feel like it's a little too dark over here. How's that looking? A bit better, isn't it? Cool. And then what I'm going to do is, unlike what we did before, I'm going to set this focus in advance so that we can have a good old looky-loo. So we need it a bit. We usually get quite close to the camera, don't we? I want you to be able to see what it is I'm painting. There we go. Cool. And this actually gives you a first preview of what I've been painting up. Is that enough? Yeah, that should be okay. Oh, Max, how's it going, mate? Should be down tomorrow, I think, for climbing, which would be nice. So yeah, this is what I've been painting up in the week so far. One Blood Bowl Troll. I recently did his scales, so that's what I've been focusing on because, oh, I tell you what, lads, the skin's doing my bloody nutting, man. I can't seem to get like a smooth transition on his belly welly, so I'm just having to go and do other bits, and then I'll come back to that. But I'm pretty bloomin' happy with this so far. It's looking nice. So that's the blue one. Now the pink one that we're working on in stream is way less down the line. We started putting some pinky highlights along here. Hassan, you go sleep, my friend. You go chill. Big love to you, mate. Thank you very much, Octavia. I really appreciate that. So this one here needs a bit more work to get the belly welly in. So we're going to be focusing on doing the skin. But with lessons learned from the blue one, here's what we're going to do. We are going to... we're going to focus on bringing this belly highlight out first. And we're not going to highlight too much on the other bits of the skin. Because after looking at how Heavy Metal paint theirs, they don't actually have that much sort of like light-skinned bit. It is quite blue across the board. So, yeah, gonna learn from that and then move on. And then after that, we're gonna start painting the wood that's around his neck. And maybe we'll paint this pauldron over here red or black. I don't know which one it is we're doing. Doug's in the chat, so he'll be able to tell me if it will look too weird having pink sat next to red. Sorry, I keep going off the screen because usually I've got the camera a little bit further in. Hopefully that won't be a problem. Right then, you know what time it is. Oh yeah, I was going to... was I showing you anything else? Nope, that's it. That's it. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Right, so let's move over to painting. And I really... Oh, Quoth, the pose is weird, isn't it? It's like, it does make sense, but it isn't great. Probably going to just quickly tweak the brightness of this as well. Again, just feel like it needs to be even brighter for you. Yep. Oh, it's gone weird, man. It keeps on trying to go back to autofocus. I'm like, no, bro. Don't be doing that. It's not what I told you to do. There's a ghost in the machine that wants to tear down my stream. Right, okay. So let's begin by mixing it up. Mixing it up. Let's go. We need some Carrick stone. And we need some... Do I have pink screamer on the table? Dark Creeper. Stegosaur. Brine Oxide. No. Huh. Cool, the first paint that I needed, I didn't even bother to get it out. Good. Right then. Okay, so we are going to use for this medium layer rouge. Get some of that Screamer Pink onto the palette. And then Heresy of Heresies. I'm doing bloody live mixing. Over here. And then we need to find that sweet midpoint that we had before. Were we at 1:1 yet? Do we think we were at 1:1? Do we think we're at... what's that looking like? It's a little lighter than what we've got. That is exactly what we're looking for. Cool. And then bit by bit, we're just going to move closer and closer to Karak Stone and away from Screamer Pink. And we're onto his belly welly. Hey, Louis. How's it going, friend? Good to see you. You're going to like the battle report next week. I'm just saying, brother. Yeah, that's exactly where we wanted to be, because we're just basically looking to bring it up little by little till eventually his belly starts looking a bit more like Karak Stone and less pink. I'm going to try my best to avoid what's happened with the other one by properly letting this layer dry before I go over to it, because I've kind of like given him a bit of like a bobbly belly, because I think that I just went over the paint too quickly before I had a chance to set. Yes, sir. You know it. Yeah, if you get in touch with Beanie, he'll be able to clue you in, or you can just wait. You can bide your time and find out with the rest of these lovely people next Monday. What was it, next Monday? Monday after, sorry. Just realised that another really special video is going live this coming Monday. And I think that you guys are going to really like it. If you like Kill Team and you like silly ideas, then you are probably going to love it, because it's something that has been on the cards for quite a while, but we've just not been able to action it because of just finding the time to actually paint stuff up for it. But it is 2 brand new kill teams in a brand new setting, and God, what else can I say about it? Just that you probably will not be expecting it to look like it does. Indeed, indeed. I think that it's just one of those videos where it's just stupid from start to finish, and that is exactly my favourite type of thing that we make on the channel. How's everyone's week going so far? I've been watching people playing through the Elden Ring DLC recently. I haven't actually got it myself. Haven't bitten down hard on that bone yet. But I am enjoying the likes of Mikey from Hellstorm Wargaming is playing through it at the moment. In fact, he may actually be playing through it right at this very second. And yeah, I've caught up on the discourse. I've seen the people who say it's too hard. I've seen the people say that it's not hard enough now that this patch has come in. And I'm just living vicariously through all of it, my friends. Exactly where I want to be. I will go through this DLC in my own time. It's just not something that I feel like I almost want it to die down. Did they perchance debut? They did debut, or at least some part of it debuted on a previous painting stream. I'm very much looking forward to getting them out there. Should be just a lot of fun. Ooh, you're reading the new Sisters Codex. Ooh, yeah. Because this weekend, Chewy's actually coming down, or coming across, as it were, and is going to be staying with Beanie because they're going to a tournament. Or is it an open day? I can't remember, Chewy. What's the name of the event as well? It's a DZTV joint, isn't it? Right, let's have a quick look and see how we're getting on with this. Very smooth, building up those transitions. Yes. Then we'll add one layer more of Carrick Stone in. And we will be laughing, my friends. I can't bother with Souls games. Deepest I ever got was Bloodborne. Against Strands the Story. It's frustrating and rewarding in equal measure to dole out your narrative like that, because it really does reward the hardcore set, because they're like, oh my god, I actually found something. I feel like I'm piecing together this world alongside my character. But yes, I totally am with you when it comes to the whole, like, well, sometimes it is nice just being told a story. Hey, like, one of my favourite games that they've ever made was Sekiro. And I found out the other day that that one there is, like, supremely unpopular with most of the hardcore Elden Ring and Dark Souls community, because it just feels so unlike everything else. And I was like, well, yeah, that's kind of why it's great. Give me Elden Ring, give me Sekiro 2. Shadows Die 2, that's what I want. That's what you could say. Oh, yeah, they die twice, but they do die. And then... But yeah, I love playing through the Dark Souls games. I'm bloody rubbish at them. There is no way that I would be like Rach and stream playthroughs of it, just because we would probably be stuck on the first bloody boss for about 10 years. I'm pretty sure that people actually like people beating these games. Oh, I've got a bit of paint on the helmet over there. Never mind. Hey, never mind. What is quite nice is that it does seem like we did a fair amount of the skin on the last stream, so I'm really just going in and adding one more thin layer as a kind of touch-up, really. But I know it's odd, because obviously if I was being a real purist about this, I should have painted both of these trolls in the traditional blue rock gut, or maybe as the river trolls that have like the green. But I thought, nah man, let's go crazy, let's do pink. Oh, I think that's the actress known as Kerry be coming through the door any moment. She's returned home from work. Any questions for her? Ask it now, so you can get all your answers in. Sorry, I've just realised, are you guys actually able to see this? There we go. I've got to figure out where my like safe area of painting is. And then, okay, right, so from a visual standpoint, his skin looks like it's pretty much where it needs to be on the pink. So now we're going to move it even more. Oh, Zinch trolls are pink. Yeah, there we go. There we go. See, it all works out in the end, Louis, doesn't it? So we're moving this even more towards Carrick Stone now. And we're getting a proper peachy pink on now. Okay. Let me just water this down. Because now we're basically just going to be glazing over the top of these layers just to bring it all together. As you can see, it's a bit lighter again. Carries home! That's right, gang, she's back. She made it through another work day. Couldn't take her down. Yes, with each of these layers we should be bringing the belly skin, the old belly welly, up towards a more unified colour. Doesn't matter if it looks patchy on the first 1 or 2 goes, because we will eventually get it all looking more towards Carrickstone. But yeah, as that stands, that's fine for the first layer. Then we can just highlight a few areas. So we don't want to bring it up too much. Like I was saying before, we just want to... This is effectively acting as an edge highlight. One just to give a little bit of warmth. Control. The thing is that, like, I don't know if you guys knew this about me, but I am partially colorblind with reds and blues. So painting these has been a bit of a nightmare because I genuinely can't see the transition very well, and it's kind of why my my edge highlights are usually quite chunky, because of the fact that, well, I just find the transition bit so difficult that it kind of just has to be like that for me to actually see it. Sorry, I know I'm painting off camera, but I'm just trying to get one specific line. It's all a slow process this way, isn't it? It's like a bloody missed slap chop right about now. Trust me, no one's forcing me to paint like this. It's just I wanted to challenge myself. Maybe just like move out of my comfort zone a little bit. Keep practicing and learning new skills, and then see if I can adapt them into how I traditionally paint. Because if I can, and it can be like slap chop that then gets elevated by, say, wet blending, then, you know, I feel like I will be onto a bloomin' winner with getting stuff out quickly, but also looking significantly better. I'll come back on camera, I promise you. So I know that you're tired of looking at the corner of my painting area. Monday Tony Hart. Oh, if only, mate. If only. Okay, this is where we're at. Again, it's hard to see with this webcam, but I am getting there. Slowly but surely. Will the trolls get names? Yes. I believe that should be down to the audience. What should my two trolls be called? Although I feel like I want to tell you what the theme is for the they kind of already have their names chosen, but it's just, if I tell you what the theme of this is, then you're going to be like, oh yeah, that's obvious. I reckon I can tell you, because I don't think that Beanie's in the chat, and I think that he may already know anyway. But so we've got this tournament that we're going to at the end of August, and Crazy Doug is painting up the majority of the team, and I'm just dealing with the star players and the trolls here. And I wanted them themed like the old WWF tag team, the Legion of Doom. So my goblins are called the Legion of Shroom, and all of the they're wearing the Legion of Doom red and black armor to give them that real sort of like connection to the source. And so I was going to call the trolls Smash and Hawk and Animal. It's getting confused with the oh god, who I'm not confusing them with. Who am I confusing? Oh, I'm thinking of Right, so yeah, I am right. Legion of Doom was Hawk and Animal, and then we had Demolition, which was Smash and oh god, I can't remember what the other guy's name was. Bingus and Belch. Yeah, or we could just call them Bingus and Belch. I do quite like Bingus. They're headbangers. What? Smash and Mosh? Or Mosh and Thrasher? Was that them? God, there was just a time when we were growing up where it was just all the tag teams, wasn't it? And then they got real crappy in the early 2000s, where they were just... There were still some decent tag teams out there, but then you got like really bad ones. Like, does anyone remember, what was it, Deuce and Domino? God, they were bad. Thank you, Quoth. Wingus and Dingus. Keith! Watch out, it's Keith the Troll! Keith the Troll makes a successful deco. Are you painting up anything fun at the moment, Lawson? Or is it stuff we can't talk about? We blockaded. Ooh, baby. I like these transitions. I do. And the best part is that the more I keep doing these, the better I will get at doing them. So it means that... Because when I see Doug paint, man, like, it's crazy. He is able to just... Because he's been doing it for so long, he just absolutely smashes out, like, complex line work, makes it look so easy. And he just knows from all of his years of experience. He just knows what will work and what won't. And more importantly, if it does work, how to actually get it on the model without it looking gaga beep beep poo poo. Cool, right, I think that we're ready for another layer of Carrick Stone. Game and time, baby! That's the noise I make for excitement for Scaventide. Yeah, it is such a good looking box, man. I was just like, oh, do I get into AOS 4th edition? I've still got a bloody Bretonnian army that I'm just creeping my way through out of the old world that was there, the old world box. I bought so much more on top of it, like a flipping idiot. I've still got like 9 knights to paint, and I'm just like, oh god, why did I choose to make them all so different? Yeah, the Scaventide box though, it looks so good. I absolutely adore the new models that they've brought in. Range refresh update looks sick, and you can check out Mikey and Lawson's unboxing of Scaventide here on the channel as well. They did a fantastic job of breaking down what was in it, what you can expect from it. Like I said, that's where the old like positivity in my pals phase is coming strong, because I was just like, you know what? Genuinely, really proud of them. Like, I don't mean that in a patronising way, just really happy for them. Okay, how are we getting on? Let's try and blend that a little bit in. I never know with these 3 bumps here if they're meant to be scales or like warts. It would make sense for them to be warts, wouldn't it? But then the rest of the bumps, almost a seem to be bloody scalios. Okay, right. Octavia, Jules, you're not the only one not having working with you as oh no, that's so annoying. Are you making anything fun? Oh yes, the Path to Glory that they've been filming. Yeah, it's been a really fun trip, that. Actually, a new short should have just gone live on the channel, how to do the Rusted Stormcast. Oh, well, there we go. Fantastic. So people can go check out that and get a free little painting tip tutorial guide by Lawson. Absolutely banging. Right, this is my favourite and least favourite part of the process here, is getting paint on the model in a really watery state, seeing it almost stain the area and make it look too ridiculous, and then wetting your brush and coming back in to drag it down and around. That's all I want, my friends. All I want is a transition. Please. Please. And if I've done it right, it should look just okay. That's fine with me. It's quite nerve-wracking doing glazing though, I'll tell you that much. Oh, he's linked the shorts. Amazing. So go check it out, people. Right, so what I'm going to do is learn from my mistakes of the last one, not go too crazy on the light-skinned highlight bits. I'm just going to hit it here along the forearm, maybe on the bicep, a little bit on the knee, and mainly focus on the belly and the face, because that's where the eye is drawn, and it's also where the skin of the troll would be the weakest, right? It would be like at the joins. So like maybe a tiny bit on his underarm here, but not too much. And then onto his bicep, probably just gonna score down it. Don't know if that's the right method to do it, but I will. Is it such a light glaze? Shouldn't impact it too much. Well, his belly welly's looking a lot better than the other guys was at this stage, so I'm pretty happy with that. I think it's all down to the brush as well. Like, I don't know why, but I insisted on using a small layer brush to do all of this last time. And I think that the thickness of the medium layer brush is allowing me to just sort of dump off more paint without making too many paint lines. So let's get a little bit of highlight to his knee. Not too much. Dab it on his little belly joint there. Make it a bit thicker on these parts here. Oh, it's exciting times, it is indeed. I'm definitely not having to wait very long for these layers to dry though, jeepers. Yeah, drying like almost as soon as they touch the model. Fingers as well, I'll try and yeah, let's try and hit this forearm. That's it. I'm not gonna do any more than that. That is exactly what I wanted, just a little smidge. Oh no, Louis, that sucks. What are you painting up? Currently sitting on some easy summer glow. Oh, that sounds awesome. That must be so satisfying. Thank you very much for subscribing. It must be so satisfying to just be able to make your own clothes like that. did I tell you as well? So Phil came down, which was nice to see him because we went to go see Billy Talent, and I was chatting to him about what his partner Mim is up to, and she's doing an electrician's course, just because she wants to learn a trade, which is amazing. And I was like, you know what? It would actually be bloody brilliant to know how to do something like that. Like if Kerry and I ever wanted to move again and do like the whole let's start from ground up once more, we would need so much in the way of skills that, you know, I've got a rudimentary understanding of like how to fix and make things because I've had to do a fair amount on this house. It's just like, oh, that would be pretty cool if you got to rewire your entire house and knew exactly how to do it. Yeah, Rob, they've been overselling it to us for years. No, it just helps that it is absolutely baking outside. It's warm and moist in here. I've also got a fan on, so it's probably just like blowing it dry as soon as it touches. Right, let's try and get his little pinky digits here. I find this model a wonder to work with because it's like pose on it is absolutely mad. The way that it just cannot be photographed well, as Doug was saying before. But in terms of like an action pose, it kind of has everything. So many wrinkles and details, and I haven't even got to the I haven't even thought about what I'm going to be doing with the goblin that he's carrying in his hand. It's one of those things where I can see it looming in my rear view mirror. It's like, oh, you're going to have to paint this bit, Jules. And I'm like, bloody hell, I have to paint something that's going to be compared to Doug's goblins. And I'm just like, oh, I don't want this pressure. Please, no. Okay, we are, I would say, because I can always go back and touch up the face and get more sort of like detail hidden in there. It's almost like worth viewing the face as being a separate entity to the rest of his body for now. What I really want is just that belly. Just want that belly, boys. Making clothes is fun, but depending on what people want, a recipe for a recipe for pulled out hair, yeah. Oh, well, luckily I don't have to deal with that problem, even if it was the most aggravating build. What's the thing that you've made that you're the most proud of? And, yeah, sorry to put you on the spot. If you don't feel comfortable answering, then you don't have to. Okay, right, let's get that bit over there. We're on to another layer of the belly. I'd say after that, there's not really much you can do with the belly. Like I've got a super watered down glaze here. And I am just trying to get that sweet, sweet transition going. Okay. That's a bit too heavy on his shin there that I've just done, so I'm going to have to fix that. Luckily you can just water down the area, clean your brush and go back in again and start moving it around again. Okay, that's good. Right then. Okay, so that's where we're at the moment now. It's weird. Because of the brightness that I've pushed up, he almost looks blue. Or maybe that's just my colour blindness coming in again. But you can see, even from here, you can see that there is the move towards the sort of more creamy underside there. So, I'm pretty happy with how that's looking. I could always go back and glaze it down or touch it up later on. But what we're going to do now is we're going to follow Doug's recipe that he sent over while I started painting for the armour, and we're going to do it on both of them because I want to get good at doing this. Right, so we are now looking for Mephiston Red, Evil Sun Scarlet, Wild Rider Red. Okay, so we're going to the red department now. Okay. Mephiston Red, I got that. Wild Rider Red, I got that. Do I have the third trifecta, which is Evil Sun Scarlet? No, but I've got like 15. 15 Mephiston Reds. What? How? That does not help my cause in the slightest. I need that red, boys. Oh, yeah, there we go. Cool. You ask, and the paint gods will provide. Most proud of a full-blown Victorian coat for a friend. Ooh, that does sound really cool, actually. Right, so he wants us to highlight it with that. Sorry, base it with that. Highlight it with Evil Sun's Scarlet. And then go to Wild Rider Red afterwards. Whoa, look at this. Look at the blue change colour as it gets closer. That's weird. That is weird. It's a weird camera, this. Okay. Stephen, love you, mate. Take care. Speak to you soon. Right, we're going to get the old base paintbrush out. Thank you very much, Octavia. Appreciate it. Louis, man, I felt the exact same way, and trust me, how I painted before was nothing wrong with that. I was slap chopping my way, and I was having a great old time. Like, I feel like... so I did this guy, what's his name again? Bashtor, using the traditional methods. Like, no slappy chop. It was just... Where's the focus? There it is. And I had a good time doing him. I also love doing the magnets for his wings, because I realised as soon as I did it that they were going to be destroyed straight away. So that took me a whole week to do, effectively. But then this guy here, took a day to do. Or 2 days, I think, after I'd finished prepping him for slap chop. Because that's all this is. Now it's just contrast paint over, and then one edge highlight, or maybe a base coat to tidy it up. Like, the difference between them, to me, is negligible, but I'm just trying to do this to learn a skill. Hey, JRH, good to see you, brother. Okay, we are going to do this on Big Blue first. Because if then Crazy Doug jumps in while I'm sorting it out and says, "No, I meant only red for this one. No, you idiot." This is what he said. He said, put the red on. Look at it. Sacrilege. What's going on? It's going to look real nice, though, I think. And yeah, like red and blue contrast quite a lot, but There's a lot in Warhammer that contrasts that looks bloody brilliant. Do I usually slap chop? I do, mate. I do. I don't know if it is a common term. Hey, Opop. Opop. Opoppy. Big Pop. Big Popper. I usually do slap chop to start, and then I tidy up the where it's pulled or done the tea staining by going and finding a layer paint that matches that one, so it uniforms it all, and then I do an edge highlight or two and call it a day. So I don't use very many washes like the Null Oil and Agrax unless it is metallics. That's basically how I've been living my life. And you won't believe the amount of like models that I've managed to get out the door super quick using that method. Like, slap chop isn't for everyone, but it does allow everyone a chance to paint really quickly and get good quality models on the table. I'll never understand the whole sort of like, it's cheating. Slap chop is cheating though. That is crazy, Roland. But also, what a fucking inspirational thing, though. For me, I would love to at some point learn how to use an airbrush, because some of the stuff I've seen people do with that is incredible. And it definitely seems like it saves you a lot of time. It does get me wondering, though, if slap chop, which is obviously just dry brushing primer, zenithal highlight, and then using contrast, is apparently cheating for some. How is airbrushing not? Exactly the same. You basically just like, and it must be a lot easier to build a gradient when you could just mix the paint and then just spread it. But then again, I don't know. I've never done it, so maybe it is absolutely bonkers hard, and I'm just downplaying it. Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. Painting around all these blooming spikes on his little arm guard he's got here. So I would definitely not want to be clobbered by a troll wearing something like that. That would flipping wreck. Speaking of wrecked, I'm going to get my absolute butt stomped when I go to this Blood Bowl tournament, because I just haven't been able to get a practice match in yet. So that means that I'm rolling up to this with a freshly painted... Thank you very much for subscribing, by the way, Roland. Appreciate it, mate. I'll be rocking up to the tournament with 0 hours under my belt, a brand new team, and from all accounts and testimonials, a fairly tough team to get a win out of. Like I say, I'm not looking to win, I'm just there to have a good time and hang out with my mates, but it would be nice to offer them a bit of a challenge, wouldn't it? Tell you what, GW, they make some bloody good red paint. They do indeed. I get crap on vids all the time from airbrushing stuff, or even better, airbrushing wrong? What? That blows my mind. I don't... But then again, so our friend Chris, right, he's just got into doing Airfix models, and he's shown us some feedback that he's been given from the community, right? And I thought that he was taking the piss, because there was no way that I thought that a rational human being would offer the disparaging comments that he'd received. And Chris is a bloody good painter. He's like won painting champion painting tournaments, competitions. He's had his stuff featured in White Dwarf. Like, he knows his way around a brush. But he was told, it's like, oh yeah, your the exhaust filters or exhaust pipes on this Spitfire would not be allowed to be this rusty. The British Air Force keeps its vehicles in incredible condition. So you are basically doing this as a... it's not historically accurate, and therefore it's just like crap. I'm just like, what? What the hell? Like, if I could show you as well the picture that he's done, the painting that he'd done, you would be like, what the hell? How would anyone call this bad? Or have anything other than bloody hell, mate, that's impressive to say about it? But those people in the AFX community, they are a world above fanatical when it comes to paint jobs. Like, the use of decals there is heavily frowned upon. You know, the little stickers that you wet and you stick onto the armor of like Space Marines and stuff like that. They are like, well, if it's not hand painted, well, like, don't bother. It's like, but the kit comes with decals. Yeah, it comes with standard stuff there. But why would you do that when you just spend 45 hours hand painting the exact same logo of a bike company onto a tiny part of a fuel cap? Don't get me wrong, everyone's got their hobbies and whatnot, but if I always feel like I get into a hobby so much quicker if the surrounding community is good. It's why I've dipped off a lot of animes that I was watching, because I found that when I was talking to people about the anime in question, I was just like, God damn, this is like, everyone's got a bloody opinion, and it's always like that. This is rubbish. Oh, blah blah blah. This could be so much better. Oh, blah, blah. It's like, oof, it puts me off whether I wanted to talk about it or be involved with it. And that, getting that sort of like feedback, would be just like, well, I'm not in the mood for dealing with this, so bye. Unless it's genuine tips on how to improve the painting, not the painted version. Like, we were just saying about the whole pink troll thing. Like, Zinchian trolls are pink, fair enough. But, like, the traditional ones are blue or green. So doing this, people are going to kick up a stink about the fact that I've got a pink troll? Just chill out, innit? Let me have my troll, whatever colour I want. What are we saying here? Hold on, I'm just catching up here. Sounds like somebody's playing BS bingo with their comment section. Yeah. Like using speed paints in an airbrush and mixing them with traditional paints and stuff. What? Just if you're having fun doing it, what does it matter? What does it matter to them? Like, and if they want to see the process and don't want to replicate it, fine. You think that you have to put into practice everything that you're shown or learn? No, not at all. Wow, that looks great. What paint did you use? Well, I mixed a traditional paint with a speed paint and an airbrush thinner and got that. And they're like, oh, you can't do that. Well, you did. Yeah, you did. So dumb. So dumb. Yeah, gatekeeping, snobbery, King Bollock. What a great name, by the way. Is the worst. The worst. Like, oh, you can't be part of our club, which is itself meant to be all of us sticking together because we all like something as a whole. Like, I get it. There are going to be people that are always going to be pissed off about everything. I've just learned as I've got older that this isn't school anymore. I can choose who I want to hang out with. And if people just spend time moaning about stuff to do with like a hobby, or like you just said, gatekeeping it and making it unfriendly for other people, and I don't want to be around that. I don't want to be a part of that. Oh, well, hello, Sam. Good to see you, brother. Who is running the Blood Bowl tournament that we are going to be going to very, very soon. There's the focal point. These are the two trolls that I'm painting up, my friend, for the Legion of Shroom. We've got Big Blue on this side here. His scales have been done recently. His skin needs a little bit more work done. We're just starting on the armor. And then we've got old Stinky Pinkerton over here, who we just finished off doing the skin for and his belly welly. We're just about to do his armor. I'm so looking forward to seeing you and the boys, man. It's going to be great. End of August can't come quick enough. Carrie, how are you? You okay? How was work? One word. Okay. Oh, thanks, Quoth. I appreciate that. This is the bit where I'm kind of worried if it's going to look too contrasting, the red next to the pink. But you know what? That's the team colours, man. That's just what it is. That's just what it is, bro. And I'm just enjoying being able to take my time. Like, from what I can see of the GW release schedule, everything's going to be tied up with Age of Sigmar 4th edition for the foreseeable next couple of weeks and months. 40k just had its big balance update, which means that all of my armies now feel slightly new. They've had points changes, so that means there's more ways to play them, or different ways to play them. So I've got that thing where, like, oh, I don't need to paint anything. This is delightful. I can just enjoy the hobby and paint something that I want to spend time on and actually just get looking really good. I think that the next project that I'll do after this is probably I will do some Death Guard painting on stream, and we'll be converting stuff. So you may have noticed that there's two painters that we use quite a lot on the channel. We've got Crazy Doug, and then we've got Gareth Burke, who did the Star Wars themed Tau Force that I run. He's just finished painting up a Black Templars army for me, and I will be running that very soon. So I've got another brand new army to play around with that. But he... Where was he even going to go with this? Oh yeah, he painted up the Death Guard that that he sold to me a couple of years ago. And they are stylistically like brilliant, because they are all based around like creatures emerging from the muck and the swamp. So they've got tons of moss and rust and like plant life just hanging all off of them, and goo coming down them. But the one thing that I think that he and I both agree on is that they're a bit too dark, so it can be quite tough to see and tell what model is which from an infantry perspective. So it's like the Blight Shroud Terminators. The only way that you'd really be able to recognise that they're different from the Death Shroud is that they don't have the what they call the Man Reaper scythes. So what I'm doing is I'm taking them and I'm dry brushing over the flora and fauna, very light, like lurid greens and yellows and purples, to add like moss and lichen onto them. And so it gives them that colour pop that then means that you can easily distinguish who's what and who's suffering the most from Nurgle's blessings and who's a little bit more rotted than the other. So I'll be converting all of them over the next couple of weeks and months. And then I've got a pretty bloomin' healthy amount of armies that's good to go for the channel, because alongside the Sentinels of Brobnar, which is the custom chapter that we run for the channel, I've got the Black Templars now that has just been finished up. I've got Space Wolves, I've got Grey Knights, I've got the Death Guard, I've got Tau, I've got Chaos Knights, I've got Emperor's Children, I've got Orcs, and I'm pretty sure I've got some other army whose thought is just completely escaping me right now. But that is more than enough for one man. So now I'm just kind of going, cool, do I want anything for these armies? No? Fine. Do I need anything for these armies? No? Also fine. So I can just go and paint up little bits here and there to really flesh them out. Do I have any Death Guard models nearby? I don't, unfortunately. They're upstairs under the bed. But if you go to my Instagram, scroll down a few posts, because I don't post nearly as often as I should, you should be able to see one of them, like a squad of 5 boys that I did up like fairly recently. You know what the fun part is that it didn't take all that long to do. It was just like a bit of dry brushing here, a bit of extra yoo-hoo, and the other thing that I'm doing is if there's any sort of like tentacles or like mutations, I'm painting them and then coating them in a gloss varnish, so they've got like a really wet and slimy effect to them. Like they look so far beyond dirty and filth encrusted, it's crazy. Oh, I bloody love Dungeon Bowl. Dungeon Bowl. Are we going to see some more Blood Bowl on the channel? Yes, Grim. We will be doing some. I need to speak to Sam about who's hosting this event, whether or not he would mind if I filmed my first game, or did filming of the games that we're playing, because I would really like to document the event and just have a good laugh with my opponent, really. The only thing is you've got to be careful with it all, because you know, some people just are there to play the game. They don't want to be on. They might not have like a screen presence or an ego that constantly needs to be fulfilled via the medium of YouTube. So I'm hoping that I could sway the matchups and try and get my goblins going against Joe, who's the other part of the AOS holes, which is Sam and Joe's outfit. Because if I got matched against him, I think that he's bringing Snotlings. So Snotlings versus Goblins could be very, very fun. Probably the only team that I'd be able to out-muscle. I also love the fact I've just said Goblin, just remembering again that this troll is holding a Goblin, which is in itself an entire model to paint. And you've got to go through all the rigmarole of making sure that that looks as good as Doug's that he's doing for the rest of the team. I don't know if he's still in the chat, but if you are, Doug, you can send a link through or paste a link to the ones you've been working on if you've uploaded them to your socials. Okay, right, so we are barreling towards the next stage. Of the armor. Just got to quickly go back. So you can film anything you like, my love. I'll set up a filming. Oh, that would be super helpful. Thank you very much, mate. Yeah, and if we could just get it so that oh, hey Murphy, how's it going, friend? If we could get a bit of a ringer so that I could play Joe, because I know that he wouldn't mind filming, and he's got a lovely personality on camera as well. But hey, I'm not going to try and hijack your tournament, man. At the end of the day, I'm there to have fun. If I don't make any content out of it, then that is fine. I can live my life without making content. Okay, so I've done the base coats for the 2 shoulder armor pauldrons here. So now let's check Doug's recipe and see what he says. It says, highlight next Evil Sun's Scarlet, and a highlight again of Wild Rider Red. Then a final highlight. Oh, somebody's calling me. Oh, it's Doug. Doug's calling me? Well, I'm calling Doug? Oh, I called Doug by accident. Wow, had a proper old man moment there. Just right, ignore called by accident. Oh dear, had a proper okay boomer moment there, didn't I? Fantastic. Okay. Oh, let's see what we got here. I love Snotlings. They're my favourite tier 3 team, yeah. Been wanting to 3D print Grey Knight's army, but I've had a very hard time. Yeah, they are tough, aren't they? Joe's bringing Undead? I thought he's bringing Snotlings. The cheeky bastard. Okay, well, I'll still take a I'll still take him on. The goblins fear no one. Except for armies that can immediately stand back up. And don't let me just score. Right, so we need to now have a thinky think about what we're going to do now then is we're going to highlight in Wild Rider Red. Okay? Okay, so but this feels very weird to not do any sort of shading or stuff like that. Ah, Kroot are fun, man. Kroot just are fun in general. Is it Wild Rider Red or is it Evil Sun Scarlet next? Hold on, 2 seconds. 2 seconds, pals. It's Evil Sun Scarlet next, not Wild Rider Red. I was thinking to myself that looked very bright for what I was trying to do. Yeah, but Kroot has all of like the nice skin tones and the fact that you can paint every single one of them up differently if you wanted to. I'm just blending some colours together to get my next highlight. I have one where I try Zenithal. Yeah, man, just drop it down. It's absolutely fine. So we're going to make the highlight here quite thick. And the reason being is because we're going to go back over it in a minute with Mephiston Red and thin it back down to the edge. Because I found out from Doug that this is basically like the easiest way to do it, because if you spend ages with a trembling hand and a tiny brush stroke each time, it'll take you so long compared to just being able to go around with a thick line or a thicker line and then just going back in with the base colour and just basically pushing it right back up to the edge. Oh blimey, this is a hard angle to hit that from. There we go. Make sure we hit the lip of this cauldron as well. By the way, Sam, if you're still in the chat, man, you should see what Doug's done with the other models. They are looking so good. Also, random questions. Anyone watched Inside Out 2 yet? Beanie went to go see it the other day and said it was absolutely amazing. I really would like to go and see it. I really enjoyed the first one. It was really fun. Like, I'm nowhere near being a Disney adult, because I've missed a fair few of them, but if somebody says to me like, oh, do you want to watch a Disney film? Very rarely am I going to say, no, I'm not in the mood. Maybe if, say, somebody in my family just died, maybe I'd say, stick it on later. Okay, right, so I think... God, that's so much quicker. Just got to get that last bit done there. And then we're going to do everyone's favourite, go at it again. But with a slightly lighter variant. Right, okay, so... looking nice. I can see a little bit of the transition. That's with my rubbish eyes. God, imagine if I got these looking good. Imagine if I got these looking bloody great. I'd be going up to Doug and being like, are you proud of me? You proud of me, puppy? Sometimes the what's it called? The Nightbot is quite protective over what links get sent. Sorry about that, brother. What are you saying here? My kids are literally watching it in the other room. Ah, fair enough. Yeah, it just looks like a lot of fun. Hey Jules, hey chat. Long time watcher, first time chatter. Hey old hunter. Quick question, Jay, on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest, how hyped am I for Space Marine 2? Oh my giddy aunt, my friend. Thank you for asking that question, because it now allows me to gush about that game. I am so incredibly, unreasonably hyped for it. I may or may not be looking to book off the day of its release and just sit down and play it from start to finish, because I just can't wait. And the best part about it is that I have already played it. And I can say that because I went to Gamescom last year and got to play the demo that's been doing the rounds. You'll see floating about on the YouTubes, and I had a bloomin' brilliant time with it. Now I will say there are elements in it that definitely needed polish, and I'm actually glad that they took the delay option, because there was a few points in it where, like for example, when you were encountering large bodies of water, the game would really struggle, and it was weird. It could handle the hundreds of Tyranid models on screen at once, but it really couldn't deal with puddles of water. I think it's actually because somebody told me that to do water in video games and mirrors is actually so much harder than you might first think. The game world has got to re-render itself through the lens of that puddle in the opposite direction and mirrored, and got to move seamlessly with the character. So it's like a lot of computations that need to go on to get it looking really slick. But yeah, it just needed a bit more polish. I'll tell you what, that opening level, there was this feeling, right? So I was... you go through these main gates, you're shown the battlefield that you're going to be fighting in, and then as you're marching down towards the front line, and there's Imperial Guard soldiers like marching alongside you, they all stop, some of them bow, some of them salute, some of them just completely drop to their knees because they've like never seen a Space Marine before. And then you just hear this huge rumbling, and you look over to your left and you see a Lehman Russ demolisher just crumpling down into this trench. It's like spewing out mud on the side. It's leaving these huge deep tracks that the guard that are following it have to like dart through and over. It just... there was just so much detail in the setup of a battle. I absolutely adored it, and I also love the ability that the Tyranids have, where their bodies stack up and create like murder points. So like I was trying to defend this gate from being overrun, and the bodies were just being stacked up higher and higher and higher, but the Tyranids were using them as they were like using their own bodies to like go up the side. And I think it's because the team said that they're using a feature that's very similar, if not the same, to the one that was previewed or shown off so heavily in World War Z, the video game. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I hope it does well. The PvP was such a welcome addition, because I don't know about you guys, I could have just had the single player mode and it'd be absolutely fine. But from what they're showing off with the customization, with the different battle types, there's a clear suggestion as well from those 2 shots in the recent gameplay trailer of the Dreadnought, like stomping and crushing around, that they're going to be bringing back the ability to either pilot a Dreadnought, or there'll be a fully mechanized playlist or match type that you can do, and I am so keen for that. So yeah, my worries seem to have been addressed from how the gameplay is shaping up. I'm begging every single PR outlet that I can find for a code, and if I get the opportunity to, I will be streaming it here. I will be covering it wherever I can, and on FGS, I think that they may. Well, FGS is the or What Culture probably may get some sort of like request to do promotional content with them, and if they do, then I will be basically just saying like, right, lads, I'm taking this. There are definitely some Warhammer fans within the FGS and What Culture crew, but I am gunning for it, mate. There was something else I was going to do as well for FGS, which was on the Deep Cut, which is a show that I do every single Friday there. I want to do one that's based around Warhammer, but I'm tired of lists that do like the greatest Warhammer games of all time, #1, Dawn of War 2, and it's just like the whole point of the Deep Cut is we do something a bit different with it. And I was thinking to myself, what if I did games that were better with Warhammer? And I looked through all of the weird times that Warhammer's been included in other stuff like World of Tanks, and do you remember there was a Warhammer chess game called Regicide? So yeah, I might look into doing something like that. Mainly just because I want to do an entire Deep Cut on Warhammer, and this is the only way I can figure out a way of getting it in there. As if I was going to do the other one of just talking about what the greatest Warhammer games are. The list has been done and cemented, and to be honest, it will only get updated with the release of Space Marine 2. Because I don't see many other games out there that are looking to do it. Although there are some VR experiences and VR games that are meant to be pretty decent, so maybe there is actually leeway to do it. Maybe I could even just title it as all the other Warhammer games, and then just talk about the ones that just didn't get the cancelled ones, or ones that were huge deals and then got shut down. Like, does everyone remember Warhammer Online? I know that Josh Strife Hayes just covered it, but if you've not seen his stuff, by the way, it's so enjoyable. It's weird because it's the same format every single time. Man plays often rubbish MMO for too long. That is his entire gimmick. But he's just so likeable, man. I desperately would like to play a game of Warhammer with him, because he just seems like he floats in the same circles as I do. Yet we've never had like that meeting. You kind of just like need to be at an event, because I can't just reach out of the blue and just be like, oh, but I like your stuff, I do. Can I come play Warhammer with you? You need to meet and vet the person and make sure they're not like an absolute Looney Tune, you know? Sister of Battle video, yeah, I remember that one. I remember that. That did look pretty cool. They did a AOS one as well, didn't they? You got to be a Stormcast. Oh my god, is that James Dowsey? Bloody hell! If frogs could fly, mate. Hello, my friend. I absolutely adore you. I hope you're doing well. Hit me up soon, whenever you're free, and we'll do some gaming and chill out, mate, because it's been way too long. Love you loads. Probably should record that on another format, just in case he doesn't stick around and watches this, but can't have him just missing his chance. Is that? Do you know if you can choose your legion? You are able to choose your legion, because I've seen people playing as the Imperial Fists, and I've seen footage of, obviously on the Chaos side, you've got like Night Lords, you had Death Guard, so I definitely think you'll be able to play as the majority of chapters. And I will, of course, be playing as the most annoying of chapters, which is the Space Wolves, and I will be playing them relentlessly to annoy all of my friends, because there seems to be a genuine dislike for the Space Vikings, and I will not have that stand. I will not have that stand. Much love. Thank you very much. Thank you, James. Oh, it's honestly great to hear from you, mate. I hope that everything's going well with your work. What a legend. What a lovely guy. Oh, here's the bit where the real cream of the crap's coming in. I get to do the dot highlights now with Wild Rider Red. So this is the Edge of Edge highlights. The Edgelord's personal highlights over here. And I gotta say, even if the web camera ain't picking it up all that well, it is looking pretty bloomin' lovely this end. And then I get to dive back in once more and dirty it all up. Because this orc here, this troll, he's been through many a battle on the gridiron. Therefore, he can't be running around with fancy, clean armor, can he? Come on, guys, we can't be having that. So, we've got to be getting some dirt and rust on his pauldrons. I don't want to toot my own horn here, but I think that Doug would be pretty impressed. He was still watching. You can see this. It's weird though that I do find certain colours easier to work with. I've got more confidence working with them. Like greens, oh man, work with greens for days just because of the fact that I painted so many orcs. But they're like purples, yeah, I can do a fair bit of them because of the Sentinels of Brobnar. Bloody hell, that was a lot of purples. I don't know why I'm trying to do these very, very delicate micro edge highlights with a medium layer brush. I'll tell you what, we're living and learning. We're like, what was that Sonic game with? Live and learn! Okay, so that's looking lovely, but it definitely needs to be knocked back with the Mephiston Red. But as it stands, a lovely shoulder pad. Good times for all. Look, they're going to tag out now. Your turn. He's going to come over here. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I look up from my paint station to see the word Dynasty Warriors. Who's saying what? Who's going on what with what? What? Oh, hello there, Callum. Good to see you, mate. Elegant weapon for an elegant age. Yeah. It is not an elegant age. Vroom. Ah, Dynasty Warriors. Hopefully in that new Dynasty Warriors Origins is a good return to form, with lessons learned from the great Musu games that have come out later. Yeah, like I was burned. I was burned real bad by Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires. It was just so smelly. And I wanted to love it so much. Because you know what I'm like. I'm an absolute mark for the Dynasty Warriors franchise, but it was just like, guys, you've tried a few new ideas here, but you've just fallen so far short that we just can't defend it. As much as I really wanted to play that game more and get invested in it, it just stank up that place, didn't it? Again, I should be switching over to a smaller brush for these, but at this point I don't think it matters because we know we're going to go back in and touch up the areas with the old Mephiston Red. Now that was a bloody good game that I feel no one really talks about anymore. The original Red Dead Redemption. That game was my jam. I don't know why I guess it's because Capcom still owns the original Red Dead. then they put Red Harlow into Red Dead Redemption 1 as a DLC character for the you could just mess around with. Okay, right, so we've gotten 2 very nice looking shoulder pauldrons, but we need to knock them back now, so we're going to go back to the Mephiston Red, and we're just going to give it 1 more coat, and then I've got to go back to Doug's recipe and see what we need to do next. We're saying here, finally my useless info comes in handy. The Sonic theme is City Escape. Thank you very much. To have a Dynasty Warriors main, and then Christopher Steve says, I love a good Sun Jian. Now I do like Cao Cao, just because he is obviously the biggest, the baddest, and an absolute douchebag, and the fact that it's to every Western audience, it's like cow cow. Huang Guy with his boat was hilarious back in Dynasty Warriors. What was it, 6 or 8? I can't remember which one that was. I also... Lu Bu's an obvious choice in it. Who else is an absolute bore? Meng Huo. Bloody loved him. Absolute idiot. I'm trying to think of any other like big banter ones. Dian Wei, he was a bit too serious, but I did like the fact that he hung around with, was it Zushu? Or Zuzu? Who was the absolute... I remember the pirate boy who always was like thought of himself as God's gift, but he absolutely sucked. Gan Ning. I remember him. Yeah, Dynasty Warriors 3 was pretty much a constant game in me and my friend Liam's PS2. We would play only exclusively on the hardest difficulty setting, where you got killed in maybe 3 hits from a regular guy, and as soon as we died, it was like, right, go again. Because it was the only way, if you did it on the hardest difficulty setting, it was the only way to unlock the secret weapons, or the 5th ultimate weapon, or 4th it might have been. I think Dynasty Warriors Extreme Legends added in the 5th. That was a fun time as well. First time I'd ever used a disc swapping mechanic, where you opened the disc drive and swapped out the PS2 disc for the expansion pack. God, I miss those days, man. I miss them. I genuinely miss hanging out with with Liam as well. It was some of the purest video game silliness and fun. We used to go back to his pretty much on, it's like Wednesday after double sport, and we would just play video games until my mum came and picked me up after work. To be a good few hours. And we'd be playing Halo 2 that went into Halo 3, and also Star Wars Battlefront 1 and 2 was another game that just pretty much never left the PS2, because it was just that noise, that from Galactic Conquest. And I always played as the Empire, and he always played as the Rebels, because he found it hilarious that his special ability allowed him to cause an uprising on a planet and take it from me for free. But my special ability was that I just destroyed that planet so that no one could play on it again. And he would always do this thing where he'd get me into like a loggerhead situation at Yavin 4. I just could not, for whatever reason, I could never beat him on it. I would try so many different tactics, so many different things. He just had this ability of reading that map and knowing where to be better than anyone. And then I basically would just get knocked back and win piecemeal victories wherever I could, like on Bespin and stuff like that, and then just unleash the power of the Death Star. And he would just be like, oh goddamn, my first target always was to get rid of Yavin 4. Was it something else? There might have been one other place that I always destroyed first, because I could never win on that one. Yeah. It's just such a like, you lose. It's like, oh, did I? Show me the planet where I lost. Oh wait, you can't. very much like Leonard Nimoy in the Simpsons. Didn't I? You didn't do anything at all. Right, okay, not to toot my own skin flute, but I think that they are. So there's some. Oh, let's bring it back in shot. I think that there's some pretty nice looking pauldrons right there. But there is yet more to the recipe. Where's the focus? Where is the focus? I feel like there's one more step, and I'm going to. Oh, Christopher Steve, do you not remember the original Star Wars Battlefront? Or are we talking about a different one? Different one. Hold on, wait a minute. What was the one where you play as the girl Andy Serkis who plays? Oh, Andy Serkis plays an emperor who talks about his sacred genitals. Heavenly Sword. I never played Heavenly Sword. Is it good? I would. That description alone kind of means that it feels like I have to play it. Right then. So we've done that. I'm checking the recipe now to see what it's saying here. Okay, so Wild Ride of the Red, we've done that. Oh, and then you shade it with corn red. Oh my god. That's crazy. Cantor blue and black. Oh my god. So I've got to now, according to Doug's recipe, I've got to highlight this again with Fire Dragon Bright, which is a very light, so light red that it's basically orange. Okay, this is right. Well, I'm switching over to the details brush then if we're doing this. Ignore my brush collection over here. It's fine. Also, this is not from my ears. This is from doing an oil wash, rubbing off that. Just in case you think I'm an absolute dirty grub. But I've done that thing now, where because I've said it's not this, you guys are immediately going to go, well, it definitely is that then, doesn't it? Like, no one, what is it? You protest too much. You protest too much of that hero. I can't believe that he wants me to do another highlight. And then I've got to do a dot highlight after this. Oh, God, blimey, this is... I mean, don't get me wrong. It's going to look bloody great, but I'm scared, lads. I'm bloody petrified. I'm quaking in my little pants here. This is like, we're getting down to something that actually needs to... I've got to be delicate with this now. I've got the bloody hands of a bricklayer and the butt crack of a plumber. I will admit, even on this bit here, it's looking pretty damn tasty. The biggest fear doing anything like this, though, is just that rogue worry that you will accidentally clip the skin or something else that you've just spent absolutely ages painting. And all of this will have been for nothing. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the spikes. I'm painting them with highlights, but I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to leave them as red. Or I'm going to go back on them again. Cool, bloody is that the time? Oh, it's gone quick. Always does with these streams. Just get into the zone. Get to paint something fun. To hang out with my mates. I'll tell you what, actually. When you're putting these bits on here, ooh. To quote that guy from, what is it, The Emperor's New Groove? These hills sing, baby. Okay, come on, you got this, Jules. Stay focused, we're so close to getting this in. And then I've got to do a shade recess after this. God, bloody hell. The recipe never ends. The recipe never ends. Okay, just stay focused, stay calm. Oh gosh. My nerves are shredded now. It's just one of those things where, like, as soon as I actually have to focus and concentrate on painting just like a single line or two, my brain's just like, yeah, but wouldn't it be great if you just like stabbed it with the brush? It's like, bloody hell, ADHD brain, just chill out for 5 minutes. Like, you don't need to always let bloody intrusive thoughts win. Right, phew, I believe that is one of them done. We built up a very nice there. Let me just check the other one. You can actually, yeah, you can definitely see the difference. Okay, right, and then what's he saying that I need to do as a dot color? Highlight. Recess shade, corn red, and Drakenhof nightshade. So I've got to thin that down and recess shade into the cracks, into these bits around all of the bits there. Cool, blimey, I may wait to do that for the next one. I might just finish off strong on this one here. Have I ever used acrylic ink? No, I've never used acrylic ink. Is it any good? I have heard a lot of good stuff about it, but never had the opportunity to try it for myself. Thank you, Murphy. I appreciate it. Okay, right, so we are going in. I worry I've gone a bit too heavy. That's okay, we can go back if needs be. It will reach a point though fairly soon with both of these where I'll just be like, yeah, look, it's the best that I can do. It's not going to win any golden demons, but for what I want out of it, it is more than good enough. I just basically realised that there's a lot of teams that I use, because I do quite like KLC and Orky stuff, that use trolls quite a lot. So I was like, well, if I paint these two up really well, then not only does it not bring Doug's efforts for the rest of the group down, it just means that I'll be able to use these trolls in a few other armies and be like, yeah, they look banging. And I'm also excited because it's, oh no, how did that happen? Well, that was lucky. Somehow I managed to get some admittedly very watered down paint right onto him. Okay, we are coming close to the end. Just got to get this last. Perfect. Cool. Right, so that's probably where I'm going to leave it today with these two, because we've had a good run with this. We managed to get his skin on the belly welly looking nice over here, so he's like got a bit of definition. Bit of great. I'm going to work on his scales next time, like I've done with Big Blue, because I feel like if you get them right, it makes the whole model pop. And we'll finish off these pauldrons, and who knows, maybe next time we might be able to get both the wooden boards and maybe their gloves and belts done. Then it will be onto the metallics, and then we've just got to worry about doing all of the other stuff, like bones, faces. Oh god, there's still so far to go with them. But I'm going to keep painting away on this one in my spare time, and it will hopefully inform what I need to do going forward with this one here. And then we'll have to take this one up much quicker because we'll know what we're doing. But I'm going to leave it here, my friends, because I need to dash off in a minute and go for a nice walk with Kerry. But I love you all. It's been an absolute pleasure to stream for you. It's been so much fun. And yeah, as you just said, Murphy, and then the goblins. And that's going to be a fun experience in and of itself. But I hope you all had a good time here. I hope you had fun. I'm going to bounce pretty quickly. So, see you soon. I'll be back next Wednesday. Take it easy. Enjoy the sunshine if you got it. If you don't, well, maybe count your blessings because it's bloody hot. And I'll see you very soon. Bye, everyone. Bye.